the amount of money that you make trading is relative to the amount of capital that you have to start your trading game with. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Rob, and for those of you who do know me, I'm still Rob. The amount of money that you need, how are we going to talk about this and how are we going to get around this? So many people believe that they can take $1,000, get into the stock market and start making millions and millions of dollars overnight and somehow learn to trade in a week. And what trade can you do where you can actually learn the trade in a week? And also, where can you take $1,000 and turn it into $100,000 at the end of the year, or for that matter, $1 million? You see all these videos with Lamborghinis dropping out the sky, Porsches dropping out the sky, money falling out the sky, and you think, well, that's for me, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a quick course, I'm going to learn this whole thing in a week, and by next Monday morning, I'll be taking on the whole market. Did you know that 70% of traders actually lose money? In other words, leverage traders on swing trading. I'm not talking about day trading. Day trading, if you're on the 5-minute charts and the 1-minute charts, guess what? 99% of traders lose money. Now, I know you think you're going to be top, you're going to be part of that 1%, or you're going to be part of that 30% that's winning. You think you're going to be there, but you're up against people that have been trading since the dawn of time. You're up against institutional traders. You're up against people that have been trading for 33, 34 years, like myself, that will take your money. Thanks. Put it out there. Give it to us. Why not? We'll take it. Why not? At the end of the day, retail traders only make up a tiny, tiny, tiny little portion of the market. Most of the money is made up of institutional traders, and that's what you're looking for. You're looking for that liquidity in the market when you're trading. And I always give you guys a strategy, and I always give you guys a system to trade in the market. But today, I'm just talking to you about this whole situation of this belief that you can just get into trading and suddenly make millions and millions and millions of dollars. And that's just not going to happen. So many people tell you it will. And there'll be people out there that'll say, well, I make millions, or I know this person that always makes millions. And do you actually know them personally? Is it someone that really does make that kind of money? Do they actually make that kind of money trading? There are 1 or 2 people that can do it. Then there are a few people that can make the money. Otherwise, there wouldn't be the 70-30 statistic, would there? Or the 99% statistic that wouldn't be there, because obviously some people make money in the markets, otherwise it wouldn't still be in the market after 30 years. Why would you still be in the market if you're not making money? If you were to start a business today, if you were starting a business, if you said, I'm going to go and start my business, the first thing you would do is think, well, firstly, what type of business am I going to start? What am I going to have? Am I going to have a shop? Am I going to have a factory? Am I going to have some kind of a social media business? What am I going to do? What kind of business am I actually going to start? Now, the first thing you're going to ask yourself is, do I have enough money to start it? That's a good question. You know, nobody asks that question when they go into trading because they saw some guru out there saying to them, take $1,000 and just flip it and turn it into $1 million. They don't tell you that you're going to lose it. Now, one of the worst situations with this are the guys that have gone into pension, the guys that have been retrenched from work, guys that have got their life savings and don't have a job, and they're looking for something to make money with, something to make a living with overnight, something to make a living with now. So they see trading, and they see trading as an option. It looks like a good option because Joe Soap over there is making a fortune and Pete over there is making a fortune. So surely I can do this as well. It looks pretty easy. But what they don't tell you is when you take that last little bit of money that you have in your whole life and put it into trading, that there's a possibility that it could lose as well. They don't tell you that you can lose. They only tell you that you can win. They never tell you about the losing side of this game. Trading is a 50-50 game. You can take any trade you like on the charts that I show you regularly in my other videos. Please go and check those videos out. I show you systems and I show you strategy and I show you how you can be profitable in the market with the strategy. So don't miss out on that, because if you're trading and you're missing out on that, then you're probably going to lose that money that we're talking about right now. If you take that money and you put it in the market and it's your last ever money, you have to understand that there's a possibility that you can lose it, not just win on it. Yes, it would be great to win, and especially on the first trade. Wouldn't that be just a beginner's luck thing? You know, just put 100 grand in and it just becomes $1 million. Yeah, doesn't work like that though. It always goes against you. The first trades always fail. They always fail. It's just one of those things, you know. If you take that money, you put it in the market and it starts losing, and it starts losing heavily, and you start making every mistake that every trader's ever made in their career because you're brand new to trading in the first place, you start jumping in there and you start taking these risks. And trading is risky. If you don't like risk, you shouldn't be trading. When it starts, let's say it's $100,000 and it's $10,000 down. So that's $10,000 gone out of your entire wealth. Your entire wealth that you've ever had in your life is just It's just gone. It's just disappeared. And you're looking at it and thinking, oh, what am I going to do next? And you start sweating and the sweat starts pouring off. And then it just gets worse and it goes to $15,000 and those red lines just they just start getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And you think to yourself, oh, it's getting worse. I'm just going to dollar cost average this and try and get the money back. And then it goes to $30,000. I mean, it's no longer $10,000 loss. Now it's a $30,000 loss because your dollar cost average and you don't have a stop loss, or you've moved the stop loss away, or something equally ridiculous. Now you're looking at this trade, you're $30,000 down, you've only got $70,000 left in your entire life, and you're thinking, what do I do next? Do you think that anyone in their right mind will be able to make conscious, good decisions when that's happening to them? In all likelihood, in all probability, not. Most people will start to panic and start to do strange things and start to make all those mistakes that I talked about now. But funnily enough, when you start a real business, like I said to you now, you're going to think, what type of business am I going to start? How much money am I going to need to start that business? And when I start that business, am I going to make a profit? That's a question that everyone asks. Am I going to make a profit? And how much profit am I going to make annually on this business? Is it going to be able to pay my staff? Am I going to need staff? Am I going to need conveyor belts? Am I going to need factory equipment? Or is it a shop and I'm going to need stock? Am I going to need points of sale? What am I going to need for this business? A business plan to start with. And that business plan doesn't have to consist of 1,000 pages. My business plan for trading is a 3-step business plan. I don't even need a page. I can give it to you right now. Trade the same amount on every single trade. No, well, not the same amount, the same stop loss on every single trade. Keep it simple. Trade the same amount on every single trade. Make sure that I make more on my wins than my losses. Keep the account size the same. Easy. 3 steps. Make sure you got capital to go with it. You see, the problem is if you don't have capital, the whole general consensus in the world is this. If you have money and you invest it, if you had your last $100,000 in the world and it was too late to invest it and wait 30 years for it to start making you money, you have a problem. And that's a problem only you can resolve. But if you're 20 years old and you've got this money and you can invest it now, because in 30 years' time, you're going to be so happy. But not in leverage trading, not in the trading game. Put it in an investment, buy a few shares, leave it there for 30 years. It'll be worth a fortune. Add to it every month if you can. But if it's your last $100,000 and you want to get into trading, you actually might be looking for trouble unless you're very, very, very good at this. You see, the whole point of a business plan is to make sure that you're going to profit at the end of the day. And my strategy does that for you. Now, if you want to know my strategy, also go back and watch a few of my videos. I put the strategy out every single video. And what I gave you now was very much a basic concept of my strategy. Make more on your wins, lose less on your losses. The whole point of the stock market is this. What is the stock market? It's all about buying and selling. So what a lot of people think is that the charts are going to make the money, that the win rate's going to make the money, that they're somehow going to get this charting system, this wonderful charting system that they got on a course or they got from some YouTuber, and they're going to take that course and they're going to go on there and they're going to start trading and they're going to start putting real money into this trading and they start losing that money. Because you see, when you take the demo, when you play on the demo, when you're on the course and when you're learning, it's all easy, it's all straightforward and everything's laid out so well, you can't lose with it. But when you get into real life, then suddenly those squiggly lines are all over the place, they're not where they should be, and you take trades and suddenly these trades start losing and they start going against you and you wonder why. And it's because of the fear, because of the psychology, because of the fear of missing out, because of the lack of patience. You're unable to sit on your hands and wait for trades to come to you. You're unable to sit on your hands and wait for trades to profit in your favor and try and make the full profits. Now, I've had people tell me that trading is not 50-50 because they've never lost more than 50% of their trades. Well, bully for you, but I can tell you this much. If you are that person, then you yourself are not trading correctly. Because if you're trading for proper targets, if you've got your targets in place, which are more on your wins than on your losses, then you probably will never make more than 50%. In fact, a 60% trader in this game is considered to be one of the top traders out there. Anyone who's winning 60% of their trades is doing insanely well, incredibly well. Now, I'm not here to tell you don't trade. I'm here to tell you trade. Please, by all means, trade. It's fun. It's good. It's great. I enjoy it. I love it. I'm addicted to it. I've been doing it for 34 years. I've been doing this trading thing. And you have to ask yourself, why? Because I enjoy it, because it's fun. And look, disclaimer, I do have the investment account on the side, which supports me. And the trading account is fun and it keeps you going and you make a profit over it through the year. What you have to understand with trading, though, is most of my profits are made from 1 or 2 trades a year, which make gargantuan amounts of profit, and then a whole bunch of trades that make target, which is far more than the losses that I'm putting out there. And then 60% of the trades are a whole bunch of small wins and little losses that are put together, which are far less than my wins. That's what makes the difference. Why do I have small wins in there? Why are there small wins in amongst that plan? Well, the way I trade is I follow my stop loss up behind my wins. And sometimes the wins come back and they take out the stop loss when it's in profit for a smaller profit. So you end up with small profits in amongst the small losses. And then that sort of works itself out in the system. Do I have a gigantic win rate? Of course not. To have a gigantic win rate, you've really got to be some kind of scalper with no stop loss. Let's be fair. What they do is they sort of have 7 wins in a row or 8 wins in a row, and they're like all happy and running around and jumping about and boasting to everyone that they got a win rate, and they've won $10 on every trade. And then on that 9th trade that goes into a loss, they lose $1,000, and then suddenly they're way off the pace and they're losing huge gargantuan amounts of money. And it still looks like you got a win rate, but you've actually got a huge loss. So you've got to look at it from a perspective of profit and loss rather than win rates and candles and little charts and little things going up and down. That's not what's going to make you the money, guys. That's never going to make you the money in these markets. You have to have a plan. You have to have a strategy, and you've got to follow that strategy to the T. If you want to know more about that strategy, watch my previous videos. It's in every single video except this one. I left it out on this one, didn't I? So I left it out here so you can go and watch the other ones. If you've been here this long, go and join the members area. In the members area, I've got a whole bunch of things going on there for you, including trade of the day. And join the trade of the day video section. So every day I'll put out the trades and discuss the markets and discuss the charts going up and down. And then I have my live shows every Tuesday and Thursday where I talk to you guys about trading. And in every live show, I put a little bit in about technical analysis on the charts and how to trade and the best way to trade. And in the future, I'm planning to throw a course in there for you as well in the members area that you can have a look at and enjoy and have a bit of fun with. If you watched the video this far, please subscribe. You might as well subscribe and join the channel, because if you watched my boring video this far, then you must be enjoying it, so you might as well subscribe while you're here. On that note, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget, come back and watch those live shows, and I'll see you next time. Watch those previous videos for that strategy so that you can make some money in the markets. Cheers, ciao, and bye.